Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is KLEINSEELHEIM. This is a new mod map. This map is by Spezi 2.0 modding. It's another interesting one. We seem to be getting a lot of them lately. The terrain looks lovely, colour palette used seems very nice indeed. I like the layout, the topography, there's rivers that run around it. Let's go across onto the map page. It's not a very big map. This is 49.52 megabytes to download. But, and there is a but, unfortunately, that comes with this. We'll get onto that in a little while. As far as sell points go, we've got the barn, we've got Modular, and then we've got Verkauf, and then there's Ledley. Not many sell points. It's a fairly small map. One thing I have noticed immediately, there's nowhere to sell your eggs, nowhere to sell your wool, and nowhere to sell wood chips. There's no prices given, or cotton. There's no prices there on any of those, which is an odd one. Now this has a required mods list as well. The required mods list for this map is the German cow barn by MoosAgrar, the concrete bunker set U by Kastor, d-s-agrarservice, the timbered Farmpack by RitchiF, the modular BGA system by Kastor DSA, the Sawmill by DieselHirsch, the half timbered building set by VertexDezign. So, the but that comes into this. 49.52 megabytes download for the map. Lovely. All of those required mods combined come in at 153.25 megabytes. Add that onto the 49, we're up over 200 megabytes. So it's kind of hidden megabyte download and also hidden slots. So on console, let's head towards where the actual buildings and things are. On New Farmer, which is what I do my map tours on, it's 631 out of 1299 slots, and it's a fairly small map. That is the same on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, so 631 out of 1299 used on all three game modes, which is a little bit concerning. However, we can get that down. We can get it down very low indeed. But I want to show you there are positives, and the thing is, with the few things, the adjustments you can make, again, this is another map that could give you a really nice starting map with a lot of potential. It is fairly flat. We do have some nice undulations across the map. First, the sell points we're going to have a look at is the Ledley. Now, not all of them are clearly marked. The Ledley sell point is actually just here, round behind the building. If we jump the fence, just here we are heading west. We have got the livestock market, which is just there. We do have a fuel point just here. And then we have the Verkauf, I think is the southernmost one, isn't it? Let me just check the map. Yeah, Verkauf sell point is just there. Now you might see as well, what we'll do is we'll start on New Farmer. You start with field 1, field 11. That plot there and this plot here. Now this plot here has got a cow barn on it and it's got chickens on it and it has got a silo. This one here has got pigs and another silo, but you don't own it yet. Field prices aren't too bad. To buy that's 27 grand. The biogas plant does need to be purchased. Now this is another, it's a very, very weird situation. The biogas plant to buy is 42,020, but if you recall, the biogas plant is actually part of the required mods, so the modular BGA system. So if you don't install that mod, there's no biogas plant, so you then could place your own if you want to. The same with the sawmill. If you don't have the required mods installed, the sawmill's not there either. So you either decide not to have the installed mods, then put on stuff yourself, or go with the required mods. Now, we will go up to Getreidemuller in a little while because the shop is up there and that's where most of our equipment and machinery is. We'll do a bit of a whiz round. There's not a huge amount to get round, but as I said, field prices, they vary. There's a fair bit of login, but here's the interesting thing. That's the periphery of the map. Now, obviously, the border of the map runs around here, But that only costs 1,790, and you can actually access all of this, all of the forestry bits here, those bits down the bottom there, for 1,790. A mistake? Maybe, I don't know. We do have some more placeable areas dotted around which you can pick up, you know, fairly inexpensively to place other things down if you want to. So from the Getreide Verkauf, I'll go around to the pig farm first, then we'll head back to the other one. Now this is a problem that I had on Wartburg the other day, and I'm having it on here too, and I thought, okay, it's got to be something I've done. Now I haven't got any other mods installed for my map tours, just the required mods it's asked me to have, and I have the disabled camera collision, because obviously I don't like that when you're driving around and trying to get a good camera angle. So I've got no factories mods, I've got nothing on here selected or installed that could be causing an issue. But the silo is there, very nice. The pigs, I can't get a trigger to come up, exactly the same as I couldn't on Wartburg. Now, it could be argued, well, yeah, but you don't own the land, do you? So, what we'll do, let's buy that plot. So I've now bought it. Let's open it up. I've got my Satec, Logitech heavy equipment side panel plugged into my PlayStation. That's how I'm managing to open and close these. But if we go to all of the entryways, we go in and out, we go all over the place, nothing comes up for a trigger for livestock. So then again I thought, well, okay, well maybe if I go to the livestock market, I'll just deliver them directly. I mean, in essence I could do it that way round. Doesn't show up. The pig farm, it's not here according to the livestock market either. It doesn't exist. So I've got no trigger at all for buying or selling pigs here at the pig farm, even though I own the land, which is a bit of a weird one. So what I'm going to do now is head across to the other part of the farm that's got the cows and the chickens. And again, it's another one that's really frustrating because it's a really, really pretty map. It looks great. I like the terrain, I like the layout. It's got just enough that it's interesting, but, you know, there's enough on here that you could get a nice little farm going. Nothing over the top, you know. It's pretty open, so you could use fair-sized machinery on it as well. But as we get across to the farm, I'm going to jump the fence because there are a couple of entrances. Now, if you don't have the required mods installed, all of this is just blank. There's nothing on here at all, because we've also got the concrete bunker set U, which gives us those bunkers, the German cow barn. Now again, what's it going to work now? No. If I open the gates, on here I get nothing coming up for livestock triggers at all. So I got a little bit kind of, you know, what do we do? I'm really puzzled. Chicken pen is exactly the same. Now I own this land already. This is part of what you start with on a new farmer. The bunker silos we've got 2 of here at the farm. Nice big shelter. That's part of the timber frame pack, and there's a silo in there, which it says we do have, which is very nice indeed. It's good to know. But the same with the chickens. We come to here, nothing comes up for dialogue. So let's have a look at what we start with machinery wise. What is taking that 631 slots? Now obviously the map will take some of those. If we go to garage, we do start with a John Deere 6250, a Case Puma 240 CVX, Rosselmash RSM 161, Joskin Drakkar, Draper Stream 900 header for the harvester. We've got the Catros cultivator, we've got a seeder, fertilizer spreader. We've got a fair bit of equipment as we go through. The Fanex Tedder, we've got a windrower, loading wagon, and we've got the Sawmill is saying that we have. It's not showing that any of the rest of this stuff is stuff that we can sell. It's all here, you can't do anything about it. But because they are required mods, they are eating up slots, because they do have a slot value. And I know, I'm pretty sure one of these is like 41 slots as a separate mod or something like that. But we can't actually remove them. The silo is in here. 250,000 litres, regular crop types. It's a nice big open yard, there's plenty of room. So with regard to the animals, I thought, okay, is it something I've done? So off camera, I bought a plot of land and I placed, you know what, the easiest way to do this is let's do it again. This one here. Let's place it. I know it's in the middle of a field. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to jump there because I want to prove the point, because I'm a little bit frustrated. I'll be honest. If I go here, oh look, the animal dialog box comes up. So it's not a problem with the dialog boxes. If you put down the standard Giants ones, it's not that the dialog boxes aren't working. It's not a mods clash with precision farming or the seasons mod or factories pack, or like I said, I haven't got any of those installed, because that now proves the animal dialog boxes can work and do work. So for some reason those required mods aren't working. So that's sold back and I'm back where I was. So it's really frustrating. I know a lot of people have, when I've been doing my map tours of late, have been getting quite angry, and you know, I don't understand why this keeps happening. Still nothing on there at all. But the problem is, something like that is causing people to say, well, I'm not playing on that map. It's rubbish. The thing is, it's not. It's not a rubbish map. It's a small thing. And potentially, it could, should, will get an update, and that will get resolved. With Wartburg, it got removed from the mod hub. Within, I don't know, a day, it was gone. What we're going to do is head up towards the store, because this is where all the rest of the start machinery is. All the stuff I went through, all the start machinery is up here at the store. But I like this. I like the landscape. I think it's really very, very nice indeed. We do start with some seed pallets and some fertiliser pallets as well. If we go back into here, no, back into there, back to our garage, like 631, that's what it's saying. Here's the other weird thing. Let's go across here. So this is the same thing, it happened on Wartburg as well. If I buy the biogas plant for 42,000, let's select it and buy it. That cost me 42 grand. If I now go into my garage, I now have the biogas plant there, because that's part of the required mods. If I sell that now, and that's using 22 slots. So if I didn't buy the biogas plant at all, that's 22 slots sitting there that I didn't know about, hidden away. If I sell that, I bought it for 40 grand, I can sell that BGA for 250 grand, still own the land and place another one on it, or do something else with it, or do whatever. Unfortunately, this is a problem when you've got required mods being used instead of things that are put in by the modder, if that makes sense. Some map makers will have mods they've put themselves, which are removable and sellable. When you're using outside mods as part of your map, and I get it. I'm not knocking the map maker, the modder, at all. You know, it might be that you decide you don't want to, that you want the areas to be in a position where these are completely modular. And I think that's one of the big pluses to this map. Before everyone starts going, oh, it's all negative, it's all doom and gloom, the map's rubbish, don't want to play it. Not at all. If I sell everything I've got now, I can get my slot count down to 460. I can't get rid of those buildings and things at all, can't do it. However, if I decide to come onto this map and I don't get the required mods, if I decide I'm not going to use them, not going to install them. By the way, it does install them automatically. When you download the map, it automatically installed all of those mods into my mods. You don't have to select them. You can then get rid of them again if you want to. If you come onto this map without the required mods, I know I'm going on and on about this, you can get the slot count down to 274. If you come on without the required mods, it's on 398. If you then get rid of all the start equipment, you can get it down to 274 out of 1299. That's a big difference between 631 and 274. That gives you a very playable map. It gives you lots of options then to place your own stuff, do whatever you want with stuff you might already have in the mods hub or things you prefer, and also animal pens that are working. Again, I don't want it all to come across as negative and doom and gloom, because it is a very nice map. And what we're going to do is have a bit of a whiz round. We cut across the road here, got another placeable area, and we'll get to what was the other? Getreide. Mine's gone blank. Getreide Müller, which is mill, isn't it? So we've got Getreide Müller, so that's one of the other sell points. But like I say, there's no spinnery sell point on here. There's nowhere to get rid of your eggs, or yeah, wool or wood chips. There's, you know, if you go to the sawmill, we're going to head over to the biogas plant now, and then we'll go to the sawmill, and then we'll have a quick whiz round just so you can have a look at the landscape, because that's what I mean. It is a very, very nice map, just with a few, I don't know, issues, I guess. Now, what I will also reiterate at this point, a lot of people then argue, or they'll put in the comments, how do things like this get past testing? When Giants test, as far as I'm aware, when Giants do their testing, they run it through a series of test programs which are looking for kind of errant coding, looking for license, like branding issues, things like that that pop up as being anomalies, things that aren't allowed, that kind of thing. As far as I know, they don't actually play test. They don't have someone sat on a console game testing it. I don't think they do. Because in all honesty, me preparing to do this map tour flagged up all these issues almost immediately. But if you're running it through, testing it through a game algorithm to test, you won't necessarily find them. It's not going to tell you in the coding that the animal pen's not working properly, as far as I'm aware it won't. So yeah, it's a difficult one to kind of tackle, really. And I want to put it across with both sides, the pros and the cons. Yes, that is a negative, but there are positives that come out of it. There are loads and loads of placeable sell points in the mod hub. So if you came on this and decided, right, I'm not going to use any required mods, slot count right down low, I'm going to put sell points on, then you will have a spinnery sell point. You will have places to sell your wood chips. You know, it does give you a lot of scope. But some people would rather just have a plug and play. Let's go for it. Now, what I'm curious about here, if I sell the biogas plant I've got, this is a kind of play test as well as a map tour, I guess. If I sell that now for 250 grand, does it sell all of it or just that? It's just that part. So the thing about it being, I think that's part of the bunker sets, and those bits there are part of the modular. So again, there's still going to be slots associated with that. So that goes. I could place another one, but then with all the rest of the stuff here, what would I place other than another modular BGA? So from here, I'm going to go back out, and we'll head up to the sawmill, which again I could sell. I could place something else there, another sawmill or some other sell points, or you know. I realise at this point, you know, I really don't want it to come across. I know it seemed quite harsh at the start, but there is a frustration, an inherent frustration involved, because I do a lot of map tours. I go, you know, I look at a lot of mods, a lot of map tours. You know, a lot of people will look at a map and they'll pick and choose whether they want to play on it or not. Some people will have a go immediately. Some people won't touch it. Some people will watch a mod review before they even look at doing a map. So I kind of come across some of the problems, not all of them. You know, a lot of the problems on maps only occur through gameplay, that these things get flagged up. It is a lovely map. It's just a very unusual way of going about. Well, it's not. I suppose it's not unusual. You know, there are maps, a lot of maps that have required mods, but sometimes if those required mods aren't working, I don't know why. Anyway, this is the sawmill, which if you don't have the required mod installed, it won't be here. But also, I own it technically, which is unusual, I suppose. If I sell that, I could put another sawmill down, use it for placeable area, do whatever I like with it. So it is a very nicely put together. And look, when you look at the textures and the landscaping, it's a cracker. It is very nice indeed. It's far more modular than you would think. Now this part here, all this forestry around here, is all part of that periphery of the map that was like 1079 or whatever it was. to buy. So I could come and do all this forestry, own all of this land for hardly anything. Very, very little amount of money. Which is quite staggering. In essence, that's it. That's the map. That's all the sell points. There's only, there's Ledley. Obviously, there was the sawmill, but the sawmill only takes lumber. And then there's the Getreide Verkauf and the Getreide Müller, which we've looked at both of. The landscape is very nice. There's no shortage of forestry. I think with a bit of tweaking. Sorry, that's where I put the pig pen. That it doesn't normally look like that. That's where I put the pig pen just to check it out. And I know it probably goes against everything the map maker wants to hear. My advice, even if it installs the required mods automatically for you, when you load the game up, don't enable them, don't select them. Come on here and put your own stuff down. Before you even start your Let's Play, put your own stuff down. It will keep your slot count down. You know you're going to have stuff on here that's working properly. And again, that's no disrespect to the... I don't know why they're not working properly. The modders that have made these... the German cow barn by MoosAgrar, for some reason on this map doesn't seem to be working, and I'm not too sure about the others. Are they part of the timbered Farmpack or the half timbered building set? I can't remember. I think it might be the timbered Farmpack by RitchiF. Again, don't know why it's not working on here, and it's no slight on them as modders. It could just be a clash between the map and the mods. I really don't know. But there we go. That's KLEINSEELHEIM by Spezi 2.0 modding. Another one with lots of potential. It's just getting on and unlocking that potential. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.